In this week's Space Zone News, we cover private company Moon Express unveils its lunar lander. Japan launches nanosatellites into orbit with its CubeSat cannon. Chinese Jade Rabbit moon rover is ready to roll. From Kazakhstan to Texas and then back to Rome. Private enterprise is flooding into the space arena with well and lesser known projects, launching in the areas of space tourism, cargo shuttles to the ISS, and even a project to colonize Mars. The latest unveiling concerns the moon, however, which is experiencing a renaissance of interest. California-based Moon Express has designed a small moon lander, codenamed MX-1, able to deliver payloads to the moon's surface. It is revolutionary for a number of reasons. The vehicle has no bus or chassis to provide rigidity, and this function will be performed by the fuel tanks that, when full, will constitute 75% of the total weight. There are no legs, and a collapsible fuel tank will cushion the landing. This project is one of the 22 lining up for the $20 million Google Lunar X prize, to be awarded to the first private mission to land a robot on the lunar surface, move it 500 meters, and send data back to Earth. The company has more grandiose long-term plans, of course, and after a period of ferrying supplies to the moon, it eventually wants to start mining and extracting raw materials, either to carry back to Earth or using the moon as a stepping stone for solar system exploration. The International Space Station does not betray its name and currently has a Japanese astronaut on board, Koichi Wakata. It also has its own space station module, Kibo, equipped with a robotic arm and exterior platform that was instrumental in the deployment of a microsatellite cannon, which recently launched 3 CubeSats, each the size of a small lunchbox, 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters. There's been an explosion of interest in these nanosatellites recently, with universities and even high schools getting them launched. Typically, they contain off-the-shelf electronic components and perform simple scientific experiments ranging from temperature measurement to communications capabilities. After intense lunar activity in the 60s and 70s, Russia and the US adopted a been there, done that attitude towards the Earth's closest celestial body. China is changing that with a mission that will herald the first soft landing on the moon's surface in 37 years. Many space probes have crashed into the moon in the meantime. The Chang'e 3 lander will touch down in the Sinus Iridum, or Bay of Rainbows, where its rover Yutu, or Jade Rabbit, will drive down a ramp and start surveying the surface. The rover has a rather unprepossessing appearance, in all honesty, looking like a 6-wheel shopping trolley. Its mission is to investigate the moon's geology and rock composition. China has an ample lunar exploration program, for the time being exclusively robotic in nature, which will culminate in the return of lunar samples to Earth. While focused on establishing a major space station, the Chinese manned space program does not exclude landing taikonauts on the moon sometime in the future. Since Luca Parmitano's recent return from the space station, he's been travelling around the world, and only this week was he able to return to Rome. The occasion was marked by a dedicated press conference in which Luca gave a report on his 6 months in orbit and fielded questions from a packed auditorium, which also included numerous school children. As these images show, he was grilled at length about his aborted second spacewalk, when his helmet filled with water while he was outside the space station. Particular focus was also dedicated to the importance of training and the position of Italy in the space manufacturing and launch industries. We had the opportunity to speak to Luca just before he rushed off to a meeting with the President of the Italian Republic, Giorgio Napolitano.
You've worked with ESA, Roscosmos and NASA. What differences did you encounter in their approach to space, and what similarities?
It's easier to answer the second question, the similarities. The similarities is in the approach to space. The focus on all the agencies is the same. We are all working towards something that we all believe is extremely important and indispensable. And the focus that I see on my colleague, the cosmonauts, or on the ESA astronauts, NASA astronauts, or from JAXA and the Canadian Space Agency, we all believe in the same things. We all have the same objective and the same target. Certainly, there are differences in the way we train. At NASA, we train a lot on the simulators. There is a lot of efforts trying to teach a very operational way of using the space station and its systems. I would say that Roscosmos, as an engineer, as a flight engineer, I was taught to have a very exhaustive knowledge of all the system of the Soyuz and the Russian segment, plus the technical part of simulators and practical training. And at ESA, we are always in between. It's an in-between of two worlds, and we actually join as a trade union of the two space agencies, and we work in the middle. We try to combine that theoretical knowledge with the technical background and the knowledge of the system through the simulators that we have at the ASI.